Hey, this is Deepak here, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to give you my thoughts on the BMW R1300 GS, which I got recently. I think I can make a much in-depth review, but I'm making a review right now anyway to share my thoughts with you. And by the end of this video, you will have a fair idea whether the bike is truly worth it and whether this is something that you would want to purchase for yourself. So let's start with the specifications. So the R1300 GS is powered by a 1300cc liquid cooled boxer twin engine, and it's also air cooled along with the liquid cooling, and it uses the BMW shift cam variable cam technology. We'll probably make another video about that. So the power is 145 horsepower at 7750 rpm and 149 newton meter of torque at 6500 rpm, and the bike's weight is around 237 kilograms. The seat height in the standard mode is about 850 mm. With the optional adaptive height system, it can drop a bit under slow speeds. This bike does not come with the optional adaptive height system. The fuel tank holds 19 liters, GSA holds 30 liters, but this is only 19 liters, which is around 5 gallons, and it's a decent touring range for practical usage. On the tech side, it comes with 6.5-inch TFT display with connectivity, heated grips. The best part about this bike is the keyless ride. I don't need to put in my key every time. I can just keep it in my pocket and I can just start the bike. I don't really use the heated grips, especially in the Indian road conditions. And there is a tire pressure monitor, which is a huge improvement over my Transalp, because you get to know what is your tire pressure and whether you need to check your tire pressure or not. Especially in bikes, it's very important for safety, unlike cars, where if one tire has a slightly lesser tire pressure, it is still fine. It has ABS Pro, and I will probably make another video about ABS Pro. You can go ahead and check out what ABS Pro is. It has cruise control, active cruise control. I have already made a video about active cruise control, which you can watch in the channel. So the chassis is all new. It has Evo tilly lever up front, Evo para lever in the rear, and these are amazing suspensions. And there is a BMW semi-active suspension system, Evo ESA with damping and variable spring rate control, and that possibly demands its own video. Right, so these are the specifications. This is what you get on the bike when you buy, and it's way more technologically advanced than many super bikes in the market available today. In terms of how it feels, the ergonomics and comfort, let's talk about how it feels to ride. So the riding position is commanding. So in Transalp, the riding position was in a way that my foot pegs will be a little bit ahead, and it kind of gives you more of an L-shaped position with your leg, where the knee is at 90 degree, not 90 degree but less than that, but it's more towards 90 degree. In BMW, it's little bit slightly forward leaning posture with the foot pegs slightly behind. So I did not really find a problem with it initially when I rode BMW R1300 GS, which was a test ride bike. I felt like my legs were a little bit cramped, but then I found out that that particular seat height was at 830 mm, and the standard seat height is 850 mm. So I am 5'10", 5'11" height, and for that height 850 mm is perfect, and you will not really feel like your seats are uncomfortable and your leg is cramped. So it's something that you have to test for yourself, maybe take a ride for 2-3 hours and then make a decision, right? So for me, not overly stretched, not overly cramped, and for the other benefits I get, I'm okay with the comfort, but it's not as amazing as I thought it would be. The comfort is kind of okay, but if I have to ride for like 600 kilometers, I will probably have a little bit of pain in my bum and pain in my back. But I have not tried it yet. I have done 600 kilometers on a single day in Transalp, and I did not find much problem with it. In terms of pillion comfort, I went on a ride with my wife and she said that the pillion comfort is amazing, especially because of the suspension and the way the seat is designed. I might want to add one more layer of cushion on the seat, which I will talk about in my future video. I have found out some vendors in India, one in Chennai, who will add like a layer of cushion on my seat, and he does a excellent job. So the seat is like little bit narrow in the midsection, which helps you stand up on the pegs, and you can like shift a little bit, so it's more sporty that way. Wind protection, the stock windscreen is reasonable but not perfect at highway speeds, but way better than my Transalp. So I think the GSA with a larger windshield will probably make more sense if you want like perfect wind protection. But you can see that in this video I have been like going at 120 kmph, and I didn't find much problem with it at all. Right, so that's that regarding ergonomics and comfort. Let's talk about performance and engine feel. So out on the road, the R1300 GS engine is kind of comes to life. Low and mid-range are strong. You can roll on the throttle in 4th or 5th gear without hunting gears, and overtaking you can do it with a lot of confidence. The shift cam technology in the engine helps smooth transitions between low RPM and high RPM modes, so the power delivery does not really feel abrupt. There is a mechanical noise, more like engine or cam chain sound, that I expected it's audible. Many other reviewers have said the same. When you open the throttle hard, the bike moves with kind of an authority. It just like pushes you, and the extra horsepower over the old R1250 GS is like real and tangible. And one small thing that I noticed here is that if you are shifting from first to second, it can feel a little bit clunky and notchy, and especially at lower revs. So if you are using the quick shifter, use it after the third gear and especially after 3000 rpm. Don't do low rpm quick shifter shifts. So the engine character is strong, flexible and pleasant for long rides. Let's talk about the handling, suspension and brakes. So this is where the R1300 GS really shines. The new chassis is more compact, more balanced and more responsive than its predecessor. In corners it feels very much willing to lean in, and it feels more confident. The steering is sharper. The Evo telelever helps maintain stability under braking. There is absolutely no dive that you can experience when you just press the front brake, and it has ABS Pro, so it kind of distributes your braking force between front and back. It kind of keeps the geometry stable. The rear setup also helps with a good amount of predictability. So the semi-active suspension Evo ESA does an excellent job of adjusting damping and spring behavior dynamically. On uneven roads, the bumps feel muted and the transitions are really smooth. That said, in extremely sharp or sudden bumps, the system sometimes struggles since semi-active systems have limits. Reviews mention that it's not perfect in all extremes, but you might never really feel like it's a negative. Braking is powerful and confidence inspiring. ABS Pro and the linked braking add safety. The stability under hard braking is excellent. Let's talk about the electronics a little bit. So the electronics package is extensive. You have multiple ride modes: road, rain, eco and enduro. It's road, rain, enduro and dynamic. And you also have something called Dynamic Pro and Enduro Pro, which you can enable inside the settings, and that is something that I have not tried yet. So ABS Pro, traction control, DTC, engine rack torque control and hill hold, dynamic brake assist, all are like available. The hill hold is basically if you are in a slope, you press the front brake hard and it will kind of like lock the brake for you. It's like a parking mode on cars, or like a handbrake in cars. So that helps you when you're like stopping for toll gate, or like just stopping somewhere for something and you are in neutral. You don't want to switch the engine off and then put the gear. You just want the engine on, keep it in neutral, and make sure that the vehicle is not rolling around. Cruise control is standard. In this option 719, you have radar based adaptive cruise control, and you have collision warning system. Collision warning system is a little bit tricky, especially on Indian roads. Suddenly the bike feels like you are going to collide on something and brakes by itself, and I think more than safety, it creates more danger because somebody coming from behind might not slow down. So collision warning system is something that I want to switch off, and I'm yet to figure out how to do it. The TFT display, I am pretty happy. Nothing mind-blowing about it, but it does the job. Overall, it's like non-fatigue riding, especially on long highway sections. It's a mile muncher, and even in tricky traffic, it can still like really have a low center of gravity and help you just glide through traffic. So in terms of off-road, I am not a technical off-roader. I had the chance to ride some patches of gravel and uneven roads, and on those the 1300 behaves impressively for its size. You don't feel like it's a heavy bike, and because of the semi-active suspension, the bike absorbs irregularities well, and the feedback remains very good. The narrower midsection and better balance helps shift weight on standing, and reviews from many magazines say that the off-road manners are largely improved over the old GS models. Now please note that this is not a hardcore enduro bike. I would say the Transalp 750 or the KTM 390 Adventure is much of a hardcore enduro bike. This still has its weight, and in very rough terrain the limits will show, but for mixed roads, forest tracks, gravel connectors, it performs better than I expected. Let's also talk about the fuel efficiency, range and running cost. So generally people say that in Indian road conditions with the ethanol 20 fuel, it gives 20 to 21 kmpl mileage. Today morning in this ride, I noticed a mileage of around 19.5 kmpl. So BMW Boxer engine is like more than 1 or 2 years in refinement, and they have a strong reputation. The 1300 is new, so long-term reliability is still yet to be proven, but end of the day it's a Boxer engine, and it's kind of an incremental improvement over the 1250 and not like a whole new engine. So far the reviews have been good, no major issues, and it's very reliable. The extra tech and electronics, sensor actuators do add some complexity, so maintenance costs might be higher than simpler bikes, and that is something you have to keep in mind. So overall, let's just have a look at the overall pros and cons. The pros: stronger engine, more power and torque over the 1250, sharper, more agile handling thanks to the new chassis and lighter weight, excellent suspension, semi-active system works well most of the time, rich electronics package and rider aids that enhance usability, good comfort for longer rides matched with windscreen or accessories. And the cons or trade-offs: mechanical noise is little bit more audible and less insulated than before, especially during changing gears at lower gears. Quick shifters can be pretty useless with between first and second gear. Wind protection is decent but not perfect. Maybe we can add like a different windshield. The added complexity of electronics may increase the cost of repairs or maintenance, but end of the day, if you are buying a BMW, let's assume that you have the deep pockets to handle the maintenance of it. Off-road limitations: in very rough terrain, the weight and size will show. But overall, compared to the R1250 GS, the 1300 feels more modern, more refined, more capable and less bulky. And many reviewers say that this is the best GS yet, and I have not really had ownership of GS before, so I would say that this is my best bike yet. Not sure if it is the best GS yet, I do have some friends who are fans of the R1250 GS who say that it's a little bit more comfortable than the 1300 GS, but that is something which is a little bit subjective depending on individual preferences. So overall verdict, so what is my verdict? The 1300 GS hits a sweet spot between performance, comfort and versatility. It's a premium adventure tourer, ideal for riders who want to have a do everything bike, do the highway cruising, do the twisties, occasional gravel or dirt, and the advanced electronics will support all of this. It is not for somebody looking for a minimalist, super lightweight bike, especially for off-roading. If your goal is a high-end feature-rich all-rounder that can handle long-distance touring with style, the R1300 GS is very compelling. If you already own an earlier GS such as R1200 or R1250, this is definitely a worthy upgrade. And if you are coming from a sport bike or a touring bike, this will feel a little bit more capable on a mixed terrain. So thanks for riding along with me on this review. If you liked this video, found it useful, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't yet, and comment below and what aspect of the R1300 GS you want me to test next. So I have more videos coming for you, especially about this particular bike. So stay tuned, ride safe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.